Hey, this is Joe for Uptown Radio 513, sitting here with Famousjade, and there are a few things that people want to know about you. Why did you pick the artist that you chose for the mixtape?
I needed a authentic representation of the best talent in Cincinnati. Of course, there were a lot of artists that were very talented that I didn't get a chance to work with just yet on this project. But out of the shows that I have promoted, I wanted to take the best of the best and put a project together with them. I'm very excited about the people that I'm working with because they have a lot of great music, but not only great music, but great work ethic. And in this industry, it's 90% work ethic and 10% talent. And it's so frustrating to get someone who's talented that doesn't really understand the industry. So I really partnered with a lot of great artists that are individual in their own unique ways. Just to give you a little bit background on some of the artists, you have like Minority, who was like a perfect package. They have the look, they're marketable, they make hits. Also, Diesel the Pro, definitely makes hits. He partnered with someone from Def Jam, and strong. He has his own corporation. He makes T-shirts and has a studio and all kinds of things that are just amazing. And of course, Deep Thought, also having their own studio and T-shirt business and things like that. I guess what impresses me the most about the artists is also their community involvement. A lot of them take back from their project and give to the youth. A great example of that is Michael X, who does a lot of programs to use hip-hop to, help our young men and help them straighten up in school and things like that. Marco Payne has been a great inspiration for me because his music gives me a different perception on what it's like to be a single father, what they deal with. So I thought, his music is great. Collision has one of my favorite songs on the mixtape, Sucker Attacks. And you have Doc, who worked for MTV and Style Network doing film and things like that. So I mean, all of the artists are very creative and have done a lot. And of course, Crack Sauce, they're like the best performers that you could see live. I mean, no one does a better show than those guys live. They're amazing. And also Phoenix Six, he made his way all the way to LA and is in movies and things. So it's really, I'm very proud of my team.
Wow, well, this definitely sounds like something that's really close to your heart. So what is the biggest challenges for rappers in your city?
I guess there's a break of understanding between promoters and artists. It's really a business, so there's a lot of promoters who they're really worried about packing the place and selling out the bar, and that is priority over, quality music, So you have a situation where you have a promoter who's booking a top 40 artists, and they're charging $800 to $1,000 or more for people to open up for that artist, and some people who are from different genres get left out. Like if you're hip hop, of course, because generally there's not many hip hop artists promoters here will book that will warrant for you to pay $800 or $1,000 to open up for them. So you have an underground hip hop circuit going on, but if you don't make like top 40 hits, it's hard for you to get on those stages, and you also have to have that type of money to open up for one night, and it's kind of like a paradigm, because when you think about it, you're paying $1,000 or so to open up for people that live in your city, people that you can reach on Facebook, and really for my team, and there's a few artists who, they built their corporations and they're able to do that, like Diesel the Pro, Minority, Deep Dot, again, they're able to do that, but wisely they do that in different cities, because it doesn't make sense to pay $1,000 to open up for people that you live next door to, But again, from a promoter standpoint, it is important for artists to have a following, because again, it's a business, and a lot of artists don't, realize that, and they have poor marketed packages, and they come in and want to step on your stage, and you paid for this night at this club, and a nobody just comes in and wants to rap on your stage, and they really haven't brought anybody with them and things like that. And, artists get frustrated and say, hey, they don't respect good music and things like that, but you really have to take time to invest in yourself. And that's another thing I love about my team. They took the proper time to invest in themselves, and they all each have a strong following. They bring people with them, and their clientele they take care of the bar. They don't come in broke. You know, they bring in great clients. I think if I could say something else, I would say originality is important, and something that I did with my mixtape, I tried to bring something different to the table so that people would want to support our mixtape. So we have a very long DVD. We have about 6 hours of footage with our DVD that's with our mixtape, and then of course it's the Ruby Ice model mixtape. So it's in ownership of the models. So you have beautiful ladies all over the city promoting this mixtape. So I'm just very excited about this project. I apologize too as well. This is my first interview, so bear with me. Thank you.
Now here's the question that everybody wants to know. Why are you single, and what are you looking for?
I think I'm single because I realized that it's okay to be single. It's better to have a vacancy than to move in the wrong tenant. You know, when you think about should that person, you know, tear up the unit and things like that, it will cost you so much to fix the unit, and then the reputation is ruined of the complex. So you have to spend so much money on marketing. So when you think about all those costs, it's better to have a vacancy and be okay with that and be established. So I hate to use real estate as an example, but I mean, I think that's basically why I'm single. There's a lot of lifelong lessons that I had, and I had to think about the relationships I had that failed, and it really has something to do with me not understanding my worth and and just not know. You know, we as women, we forget how sacred we are and how beautiful we are. You know, you meet someone and you give them too much too soon. You know, especially you know women who had their father in their life. You have to think about how hard your father worked for you to sustain you and raise you, and you know, before you meet with someone else, have you returned the investment your parents put into you? I think about how much time my mother spent with me. She always came to my school meetings. I mean, my mother is the reason why, you know, people are like, you're smart. You know, it was because of my mother. You know, my mother and my father and their investment in me. You know, and so there's some investments that they put into me, some sacrifices that they made that I need to return in myself. You know, and that really just goes back into, you know, really like the Old Testament, how there was like a bride price. You know, that was the reason why there was a bride price, you know, because the parents and the family did so much in raising that girl up. So when you look at yourself and realize, you know, I'm worth to be treated a certain way before I, you know, give myself into a relationship, you know, it really just changes your perception. Have you returned the investment that your parents put into you? You know, and is this man, you know, willing to invest into you as well? You know, because, you know, you're sacred as a woman. I mean, you can't even come into this dimension without going through the womb of a woman. I mean, your womb is an etheric, soul-making baby machine. So, I mean, you just want to think about how sacred your body is as a woman, as a goddess, and think about the energies that you're allowing to come into you. You know, but as far as what I'm looking for, I'm pretty, I have standards. I'm really open-minded, you know, maybe too open-minded, you know, because my friend teased me, like, I had arguments saying that polygamy should be legal, you know. So I'm extremely open-minded, but you know, I'm just looking for someone that is an empire builder, because I'm building an empire, someone with like goals and like discipline. You know, so I mean, there's plenty of people out there. I know there's someone out there for me. It's just a matter of me building myself up to the point where I'm satisfied, so I can meet someone at that level, or you know, or someone that's willing to support me at that level if they're not there yet. Because it's not about how much money someone has. It's about how well you can build an empire together.
I definitely understand that, and a lot of y'all should appreciate that. Now, for our last and final question. What are some of the lifelong lessons that changed you, and what are some of the type of books that weigh heavy on you or makes you such a deep person?
I would say that one of the biggest documentaries everyone needs to see is The Secret. Just realizing that your thought forms create your reality, and there's nobody holding you back. There's not another race, not another culture, nothing in your no one from your past. Is really you. You are holding your own self back. You create your reality. You can have anything you want. There's no system that can stop you from being who you are. I guess, being initiated into OES, working with the Eastern Stars, building the sisterhood, of course, is powerful. It taught me a lot about discipline and honor and working together. My most recent initiation into EFA has been amazing. I actually came into EFA from getting a reading from a priest, and he knew everything I was doing in my house. It was pretty cool just to see someone that gifted, and to I know people might think it's crazy, but you got to get one. Go to babafemi.org, and it's not really him. He's a vessel. It's the energy that's coming through him and communicating through him. So but he was definitely a major influence in my life, just giving me some direction on where I'm going on my purpose. I guess something a little bit more simple. Some other great books have been like The Four Agreements, which is ancient Mayan wisdom. The Tao of Sexology by Stephen Chang. People in relationships should really read that. It's about different healing positions that you can do during sex to help you to ascend and things like that. Also, The Alchemist. And of course, the major religions. The Holy Bible. Of course, my favorite scripture would probably be Proverbs 31. So there's a lot of things that helped me come to who I am. Of course, Dr. Malachi Z. York's books. Unfortunately, he's incarcerated unfairly right now, but Man from Planet Risk was a great book. Genetic Kiss was a great book on what happens when you exchange DNA with people and how it can affect you for a very long time. So I give credit to a lot of people. I give thanks to a lot of people who stepped out on their journey to help me who I am today.